And you can see your list.
This
No?
conference will now be recorded.
Yes or no?
No way. I didn't created yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So how are you going to manage employees, hiring employees?
Actually, there was some work. I will do it today.
Okay.
Yesterday's.
Yeah. So try to complete the creation of position and hiring. So any doubts on the positions that we have created, the position org chart that we have seen yesterday? We have a couple of questions on the position org chart as well. So what can be done from position org chart? So we can create lower level positions, peer positions, and we can copy positions, but we cannot create upper level position. Now selecting this position, you cannot create upper level position. We can only create lower level, peer, and copy position. Lower level and peer position, when you select lower level and peer position, system will ask us to enter the job codes, because even if at the same level, now you can have a different job code also. Now president, no, at the president level, we can also have someone who is just an assistant to CEO or someone who is reporting to CEO. Okay, both of them may not be at the same level, same grade level or same job code level, but still they are peers who are reporting to CEO. So that's why we get the option to choose the job code. All the other attributes will remain same as the this employee. Okay, company, business unit, division, department. However, system will give you option to edit those details as well. Okay, so we have seen how to create a lower level position, peer level position, and the copy positions as well. When you're copying the position, you don't have to give anything. Just you have to tell the system how many positions you want to copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. You can create any number of positions. Now system will create the positions. The difference is when you copy the position, system always takes the as on date, the current date as the position effective date. Okay. Now these are all the positions that we have created so far. 4 plus 3 7 plus 1 8, and this one 9 positions. So we have created total of 9 positions. Now we are going to hire employees in the system. So for hiring the employees in the system, we have several ways. We have several ways of hiring the employees in the system. Okay, the first one is from Employee Central. Now all the hiring is done in the Employee Central only, but straight away you are hiring the candidate in Employee Central using add new employee. There's a navigation called add new employee, where you go maintain all the master data and then hire the candidate. So you don't have any candidate information in the system. Everything you have to build from scratch. You will be adding those details in the add new employee screen. So that is from the Employee Central. Second is if your customer or if your customer is using recruitment module. Now recruiter might have added some basic information of the candidate while sorting or while selecting the candidate. Okay, maybe some from the resume or some from the candidate. So some information from the candidate while negotiating or while sending the offer letter. So we'll see some information available in the recruitment, and all of this information, like it could be the name of the candidate and then the experience of the candidate or education of the candidate. So all of this information, even the date of birth and so on. So this information comes from recruitment module. So some information up to 50%, we can say 50% of the data that we maintain for the employee is already available in recruitment module, and that data is pushed to Employee Central using manage pending hire. So we use manage pending hire to hire the candidates from recruitment module. Okay, again from the manage pending hire, when you select the candidate will flow to add new employee screen only. But here the candidate will bring up most of the information from recruitment. Okay, so that's the second way of hiring. Third way of hiring is onboarding. If your customer is using onboarding, so we have two onboarding modules, onboarding 1.0 and one onboarding. Okay, so whichever onboarding that your customer is using. So after the candidate is offered, and once the candidate accepts the offer letter, candidate will be sent a link URL to fill all of the information. Now whatever information that is left here, so all of that information, candidate will be validating and adding the details. Like it could be personal information, it could be your contact information, email information, address information. So all of this information is sent from onboarding to Employee Central, and this is also done from manage pending hire screen. Here, the difference between recruitment and onboarding is recruitment will send 50% of the data that is required in Employee Central, whereas onboarding almost 90-95% of the data is pushed from onboarding to Employee Central. And depending on the customer's requirement, what data is collected in the onboarding. Almost 90% of the data is pushed from onboarding to Employee Central. So that's the third way of hiring a candidate. And the fourth way is you have bulk employees or bulk candidates. You have bulk candidates, and these bulk candidates are to be hired in system. So here we use import employee data. So all of the data that is available with you is to be uploaded into the system using CSV files. That's import employee data. Any doubts here? And we'll be doing hiring from Employee Central, this one. Okay, which covers this one as well. Now we'll go see from the recruitment and onboarding what details are available. Then we'll go back to Employee Central and hire the employees. Okay, so first thing, let's go to manage pending hire. And you go to manage pending hire, you will find candidates from recruitment, candidates from onboarding. Here if you see recruiting, it is showing as 0. That means there are no candidates in the recruiting module. And from the drop down, you'll see drafts recruiting. So if there are any candidates whom we are trying to hire and then you have saved them in drafts, you'll find those candidates under drafts. Then you have onboarding, you have 0 candidates. Again, you don't have any candidates in onboarding also. Drafts, this is from the Employee Central. If you have not hired the candidate, but you have saved that candidate after filling some information, then that candidate will be available in the drafts of manage pending hire. Okay, so there are no candidates, that's fine. Let's go to add new employee and start hiring the employee. Go to add new employee. Now add new employee basically contains 4 different sections. Now first one is the identity information, where you fill some of the basic details, and then once you fill the basic details in identity, you continue to personal information. Now if you see personal information is not enabled, you cannot directly go and maintain personal information without having the identity details maintained. So you have to go to identity details, maintain the data, and then go back to personal information. And from job personal information, you have to go back to job information. And from job information, you have to go to compensation information. Okay. Once you fill all of the mandatory details here in all the 4 sections, your submit button will be enabled. Till then, it will be grayed out. And in the middle of the process, if you want to save the candidate and you want to hire this candidate at a later point of time, you can go save the candidates in the drafts as well. So once you save the candidate will be available under manage pending hire screen. Okay. Now let me go out of all the objects that we have created so far, the company, business unit, division, department, and the foundation objects. 2 objects, event reason and the pay components. These are the 2 components which needs to be permissioned. Now we need to assign permissions to the roles, to the role that we belong to. Okay, so that these pay components and event reasons are accessible. Okay, now let me go and add this first. We'll be discussing more on the permissions and permission roles after some time. After some time, manage permission. Okay. Let me go and add permissions. I don't have permissions here. I'm just proxying as SF admin and grant permissions. So we have created these event regions. I'm granting permissions to these event regions. And these are the pay components. Okay. So done. Okay, so now I have granted the permissions that are required. I'll go and try hire employee. Under identity details, we have the first section where you have hire date, which is by default the current date or today's date. Okay, you can hire candidates with the backdated or it can also be a future dated. However, you can also control, maybe some customers they might ask for controlling the hire date. Now it cannot be for 1 month before, or it cannot be 2 months before, or it cannot be 3 months before. So you can also have those logics applied. But as of now, we don't have any restriction here. We can choose any hire date. Then company event reason which is part of your hire, and then your name information. So let me go to hire date, try to hire with October 1st 2022. I've created my company with 6600. Go search for your company 6600, this one, and then system will show up all the event reasons that are associated only with hire. It won't show you the transfer or promotion or termination here because this is the hiring screen. It will show only the event reasons which are associated with hire. So Wipro hiring, this is the event reason that I have selected. So we have the name information where you have first name, which is mandatory field, last name, which is mandatory field, and other fields are optional. So you have to fill mandatorily the first and last name, then these are optional fields. And then you have biographical information where date of birth and country of birth is mandatory. Now, all of these fields, what you see on the employee profile, these comes from succession data model. This comes from succession data model, and these are called the HRIS elements. Now, if I go here, export succession data model. Export succession data model. Open with XML pad. Now, the same elements what you see in succession data model, you can also find in manage business configuration, because manage business configuration is the replica of succession data model. So whatever that you do in succession data model, you can also do all of those actions, all of those things in manage business configuration as well. Now here, if you go to manage business configuration, these are all the employee portlets. And if you go to personal information, here, the personal information, you'll find the fields of the personal information, like the first name, which is enabled and mandatory. Business first name, which is not enabled, and this is not mandatory. So we don't see them on, we don't see it on the screen. Last name, this is enabled and this is mandatory. Business last name is not enabled. So middle name is enabled, but it is not mandatory. So these fields are coming from your succession data model or manage business configuration. Okay, so I will fill only the option, only the mandatory fields, okay, which are required for hiring. Biographical information, you have date of birth, which is mandatory. So let me go to the calendar and choose the date of birth. Country of birth, this is the drop down for in country list, which is MDF. I've selected India. Employee information, you have person ID and username. Username is mandatory, person ID is not mandatory, but system generates the person ID. If you don't give the person ID is unique ID which will be generated by system if it is only one sequence, and this sequence you will get it from company system and logo settings. You go to company system and logo settings. Here you can maintain the sequence that your customer want to have. You scroll down and you will see the next person ID here. Whatever person ID that you see here. Now, if you go hire the candidate, system will pick the ID from here. And once the person is hired, system will update this number to the next number, which is 103274. Okay, let's see that. Person ID, system will automatically generate. Username, sometimes the username is same as your person ID. And sometimes it can be the combination of first and last name of the employee, or it can be any combination, like it can be middle name, last name and first name, or first name, middle name and last name. Usually if it is the combination of first and last name, it would be set by the interface team. So we'll have to give them the requirement that the username should be updated while hiring the candidate with the combination of first and last name. Okay, and if the user name already exists in the system, then system should go add a number, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Let's say we have Venu Kumar. So my first name is Venu and then last name is Kumar. So I want 4 letters of first name and then 2 letters of last name. So VENUKU would be my username. So if I am trying to hire one more person with the same name like Venu Kumar, then it should be Venu KU1. So the interface people or they will be creating those logics. We will not be doing that in the system. We cannot build that structure. Okay. So if it is the same as your person ID, we can write a logic to update the username with the person ID. So now, for now, I will maintain the data here, Wipro001 as the username. And then scroll down, national ID information. National ID information comes from the country specific succession data model, because for every country we have a different national ID. For India we have PAN card, Aadhaar card. For US you have social security number. So you have tax file number for UK or Australia. So you have different national IDs for different countries, and each of this national ID format is different. For India, even both the ID cards like PAN and Aadhaar, their format is different. For PAN card, you have a different format, and for the Aadhaar card, you have a different format. Similarly, Social Security number has got a different format. Now, all of this is defined in the country-specific succession data model, or you can also look at the same under Manage Business Configuration. Because now both the succession data model and country-specific succession data model can be managed from Manage Business Configuration. So I'll go to Manage Business Configuration. Wherever you have country-specific, then you go here and click on the drop-down. You see here, national ID here. National ID, you expand the national ID. And you scroll down and see here for your country, maybe India. You go to India. It says PAN card and Aadhaar card. And these are the formats. Display format is this one. Okay. And this is the logic what is applied. From A to first 5 characters should be between A to Z. Okay. And then your 4 characters should be 1 decimal, 1 number, and then 4 alphabets, 4 numbers, and then one alphabet from A to Z and 4 decimals. Then first 5 letters should be your alphabets. This is the format of a PAN. So you don't have to do anything here. This is a system standard given logic. You don't have to do anything. System, as and when there is a change, system will be updated with the patch. Now you see these are all coming from succession data model, country specific succession data model. So whatever that we have maintained here, now you go add, just choose country India, then go to national ID card, you'll find permanent account number and Aadhaar number. Now you want to change it to PAN, you go here, change it to PAN number. Okay, you select the PAN permanent account number, system shows up the number format. Now if I try to give a different format, it gives you the error. Okay, so for now I'll give some dummy data. Okay, E is primary, whether it is primary or not, then say yes or no. Continue. Now I have filled all of the mandatory fields here in personal information, identity information. When you click continue, first name is required, last name is required, sorry. I'll add here Wipro. We'll try to hire CEO, Wipro CEO. And then continue. See, if some fields are mandatory and not entered, then system gives you error message. You go add those details. Now, identity details are filled. Now you have your personal information. Personal information in the manage business configuration or in succession data model, all of these details are in personal information only. Go to personal information. Even the name information is part of your personal. Of the information only in the hiring screen, you'll see name information separately and rest field separately. Like you have gender enabled is not mandatory. Marital status, this is enabled. So you'll be maintaining all of the data here in manage business configuration. Gender, I'll select male. Preferred language, I will select English. US. Nationality, India. That's fine. And if you have any documents that are to be uploaded, you can go add the attachments here. You can go to upload and add the documents. There is a custom field which is added here, which is showing as test, and it gives a drop down value, some drop down values. Now that custom field, you'll find it here at the bottom. You see here custom string 1, it is showing as test. Now you can add up to 20 text fields. Now custom string 1 is used, so you have 2, 3, 4 and up to 20, and you have 10 date fields, you have 20 long fields, and then 20 double fields. These are all the custom fields which can be added to each of the portlets of employee. Okay, global information, since the employee belongs to India, and if there is any global information, you can add the global information, or if you don't want to fill any details, you can just delete. Now you have email information. If you want to maintain employees personal email ID or business email ID, you go choose the email type, business, other, personal, and then add the email ID. So I'll give test@gmail.com. I'll give some dummy email. Is primary, yes. Now for whichever email ID, if you're adding multiple email IDs, let's say I'm adding personal email ID as well. Now one of it should be set as is primary, yes. And to that email ID, system will send the notifications. Any kind of notification that are to be sent from this email, from this system will be sending that email to this email ID. For whichever email ID you have set is primary as yes. Similarly, you can add phone information, you can add address information if it is available. For now, I'll just delete it. You also have primary emergency contact and dependent details as well. So all of this information, if you have handy, then add these details. Okay, try to fill, when you hire employees, you try to fill each and every detail and click continue. The next portlet that we have is the job information. Now, job information is where you use all the employment information. After personal information, you have job information, the position field, which is mandatory. And under org information, you have the details like company, business unit, and so on. Under job information, you go to manage business configuration or succession data model. It will be easy for us to check in the manage business configuration. Go to job information. Now, job information, some fields are moved to org information section, some fields are moved to position information. Now you see here separate section. Position information, org information, you have time information, okay, job information, EO information. So you have these sections applicable only for the job information. You will not see section for personal information. So that's why the job information you see these sections. Okay, now company we have already selected here in identity. So system propagates or system moves the company to org information here. So this is 6600. Based on the company that we have selected, system shows up the positions that are vacant in this company. You see, you have Wipro CEO, President, HR Manager, Executive Manager, and so on. So these are the positions which are vacant: 28, 29, 30, 31, 35, and 36. These are the positions which are vacant and ready to be hired. Okay, so I will choose one of the position. When you choose a position, system propagates the data from position to job information. Because we have maintained business unit, division, department, location, cost center, all of these details on the position. So system propagated this data to job information, even the supervisor. Because so we have on the position, we have maintained the parent position. So system will go find the person assigned to that parent position and brings up to the supervisor field. Job classification, job title, pay grade, regular, temporary, a standard weekly hours. Now standard weekly hours, if you see, I have maintained 40 in the company and 20 for CEO on the job code. So system picked up the 20 weekly hours. If it is maintained on the job code, it picks up from job code. First, it will go search for the standard weekly hours and job code. If it is available, it picks from job code. So next, it goes to location. If it is not there on the job code, then it goes to location. If it is not there on the location, it goes to company. Working days per week, we have not maintained anywhere. So let me add that here. Working days per week. Is full-time employee, this should be set to yes. I'll add that. And other fields like employee class, employee type, these are all optional. If you want, you can maintain them or you can also leave them because these are optional fields. Now there is a field which is pay scale type, which is mandatory, and this is automatically filled. Maybe somebody must have added these fields, or there is a logic that somebody must have added to pull up some to pull up these values. Okay, and these two fields are mandatory here, but again, if your customer says I don't want it to be mandatory, you can go change that under manage business configuration. You go search for type. You see here pay scale type. This is enabled, and you go to details and mandatory set to yes. You can go change that to optional, set to no, so that it will be optional. This is some test field. And time information, we have not maintained any, we have not created any time of information, but system has defaulted this information. So that's fine, you can leave it, and none of these fields are mandatory. And under that we have employment details, where your first date worked is mandatory. High date is coming from identity details here, because I have chosen October 1st. Most of the times first date worked will also be the same as your high date, but if it is different, you can maintain a different date here. But here it is same, so I'll maintain this date. And these are automatically updated with the hire date. Job relationship, there must be a logic which is applied, so that system has picked up Nandini Venkatesh as the HR manager for this employee, because I have not maintained any details on the position. If I have maintained some position relationships on the position, so system should have picked up from there. Okay, so system picked up Nandini Venkatesh as the HR manager. That's fine. Just click on continue. Work permit information, if you have, you can add for India, or no, for if you have foreign nationality employees and you want to add the work permit information, you can add that. Pay group is a mandatory field here. So let me see what are the values that you have. Pay group is also MDF object. Okay. So just let me see if we have anything for India monthly. Let me choose that. Okay, it can be anything. Pay group can be, you can group the employees into different pay groups. No, all the employees for whom you want to process the payroll on the same day, on the same date, or no, maybe monthly or maybe weekly or bi-weekly. If you want to set, you can set the pay group. Scroll down, you'll find compensation section here. Compensation, where you add all the regular pay components, recurring payments and deductions, the irregular payments and components, you add it under payments and deductions, and the one-time payments. Okay, now you go add here, search for your pay component which you have created. You see 6600. Now you can also have the currency and frequency defaulted from the pay component. Here it is not defaulted, but you can also do that. If your customer says I want currency and frequency to be defaulted, you can write a logic or business rule to update currency and frequency. Amount is a mandatory field, so let me give here the amount, 2 lakhs. Currency, I'll pick from drop down INR. Frequency is monthly. You can choose a different frequency also here. Okay, now add one more pay component, 6601, which is HRA. Now if I try to give some percentage here, let's see, I've given 50% in the configuration. Let me see if it allows me to maintain a different value, 40. Okay, recurring payments, if you have, yeah, go ahead.
So like in the pay component, like if like in the drop down, if the attributes will not come, then what we'll have to do? Like Wipro basic salary we make in the compensation attribute, but in the drop down, while selecting the drop down, if it is not come, like in that case, what we have to do?
So while creating the pay component is a foundation object. Okay. Now in this system, I'll tell you, different systems will have different configuration. Again, only that association. Okay. So you have created a pay component. Created in manage business, manage organization, pay and job structure.
Yes.
Okay. Once you have created, the second step what I've done is I went to manage data because there is a country association. I went to country association and updated pay component for country. For India, because I have selected this pay component to show up for all the employees of India. So I went to manage data. This is under manage data. I went to manage data, country, I've chosen India and then added my pay component. Okay, that's the second step. Third step is permissions. Like as I said, pay component and event region, these are the two objects for which you have to grant permissions. Who should see, who should edit, or who should not see. So I have to maintain the permissions. Okay, so permissions we have not covered. By end of this week, we'll be doing the permissions as well. So I'll show you how to grant those permissions in the permissions class. Once you have all of these three steps done, your component should show up. Now, while creating your pay component, now why my pay component bonus is showing here? Why bonus is not showing here? Why salary deduction is not showing here? Because of the configuration that I have done under manage organization pay and job structure, I have now created a component to show up in the regular section here and one-time payment section for these two components. Okay.
Yes.
Currency code.
Venu, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Like if we make any changes in the manage business configuration, so it on that basis, this particular hire template is getting updated. If we want to put any field or if we want to take out any field, we can go
Yes.
and do it there. So
Either
that
in the
means,
manage business configuration or in succession data model. Yeah.
yeah. So that means the people profile is also getting updated along with this, is it?
Yes. Yes. Whatever data that you see here, you see that in the people profile as well. In fact, you will see more portlets in the people profile than in the higher screen. Higher screen, we only have limited sections like job information, comp information, personal information. Now, under personal information, you have system has split into the name information and then your address, email, phone number, and biographical information. Those comes under personal information. But again, all of these are different portlets there.
Okay. But if any of the fields is enabled, so that means it is enabled in at both the places, in the template also, in
But
the people profile also, right?
yes, if that portlet
Okay.
is configured in the people profile in the higher screen.
Okay. And also, Vinu, there is some wizard, some higher wizard, something like that. So, so how is that related to the higher template?
Higher wizard, see, you can control what fields to show up for now. In one of the releases, SuccessFactors has given option to have different wizards or different screens for the hire. So while hiring the candidate, you can choose. Now, let's say for contractors, we don't want to maintain all of this information. So what you can do, you can go maintain a hire template, okay, which is your hire wizard. what fields you want to show. Only first name and last name from personal information. From job
Okay.
information, now at least the mandatory fields are to be selected. So you select only those fields. Now for regular, you create one more wizard. For contractors and consultants, you create one wizard, and for others, you create another wizard. Now when you go to add new employee, system will ask you which wizard you want to choose, the regular or contractor or consultants. If you have that requirement, you can add that. Otherwise, this is the general template which SuccessFactors gives you to update for all the employees.
Okay. So that means with the help of that wizard, we can have different template for different categories of employees.
Yes.
Is it? Okay. Thank you, Venu.
Okay, or it could be for country. Now you want to have the
Okay.
wizard for different countries. Like for US, I want to show only these fields. For India, you want to show. Now name the wizard as no country,
Okay. Okay.
hire_US, so that it shows up only those fields. But again, system restricts these portlets. You'll find all of these portlets there also. Okay, personal
Okay.
information, your address, job information, comp information, you'll find them. Okay, you'll have to choose the
Mhm.
fields again, what all fields you want to include in it.
Okay. So when I will try to do that, so if I'll face any problem, can I ask you about the wizard?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, payment information is all about the bank details or how the employees are going to pay, whether it is check or cash or no, it's a bank details. You can go and maintain the payment details. Payment details is a MDF portlet. Okay, you can choose main payment, payroll, bonus, expenses, main payment method. Okay, whether it is paid in the cash or whether it is paid through bank, then you need to maintain all of these details. Payment method, you'll find bank transfer and check. You can also configure different pay types here. Okay, payment methods. So I will leave this for now. Now submit button is enabled here. Either you click continue where system validates the data, or you let's say continue. System should give me error. Cannot override the pay component value field for pay component 6601, because as per configuration this is set to have 50%. Can override is set to no. Okay, now here I'm giving 40, that's why system is giving error. So I gave 50 here and continue. When you click continue, system will validate whether all the fields are rightly updated. And you see here, high date of Wipro CEO, because I've named the employees Wipro first name and last name CEO. So it is showing as Wipro CEO, 10/1/2022. Next steps, you go view the profile of Wipro CEO, or you can go to add another employee. Now let me go to profile of this employee. Now this candidate has become an employee. On the employee profile, this is called your people profile. You see some basic information. This is called quick card. On the quick card, you will see some information. It is showing a CEO Wipro, last name and first name, because the name format is set as last name and first name. So this can be changed. I'll show you how to change the name format. This name format can be changed. Again, all of these details are coming from different portlets. Okay, some from personal information, some from job information, and some from some other portlets. Okay, and this is called the quick card. You can go, if you want to upload some picture for this employee, you can go to edit profile picture, select your image. Yes, I want to have this one. Okay, let me choose this one and save. Okay, so this is the profile picture of this employee. Okay, now you can also change the background here. This background can also be changed. Go to header. Okay, this is edit profile picture only. So this user can go change his or her background. This background can be changed. Okay, and these are all called sections. All these are sections. Under each section we have subsections. These are subsections. Under myself, You see personal information subsection, ID information subsection, biographical information, contact information, address, dependents. So these are all called subsections of this section. Each section contains some subsections. And the subsection contains the portlet or block. This is a portlet or block which contains the actual fields. The fields are configured to show up in the portlet. Okay, so this is your personal information block. This is HRIS element called personal information, and this is configured in succession data model or your manage business configuration. You go here, you see whatever fields that are enabled in personal information, you will see them here. You go to personal information, you'll see all the fields that are set as enabled yes are showing up in the personal information. Okay, and some of these portlets are effective dated and some are non-effective dated. Like personal information, this is effective dated. So you will see here the effective as of date. Okay, and for every effective dated portlet, you will see the clock icon, which is the history, and then the pencil icon, which is to edit or insert a record. Now, if I go to history, I'll see only one record because I have created only one record for this employee, October 1st, 2022. And if you want to maintain more records, you can go insert a new record. Or if you want to edit this record, you can go to edit. Or if you want to delete this record, you can go to delete. This is the effective dated portlets. And some portlets are non-effective dated. And the ID information subsection, this subsection is under again myself section. Okay, ID information is a subsection which contains two portlets, work permit and national IDs. Okay, under national IDs, this is not clock icon, this is add icon. You can add multiple national IDs for one employee. So you have the add national ID. Or if you want to change the existing information, you go to edit the national ID details. Here also you can add. Okay, so each subsection contains one big portlet like this, one big portlet like this, or two small portlets. These are two small portlets. Biographical information is another subsection which contains biographical information, and this is a big portlet. Okay, you have only three fields, but this is a big portlet. And then contact information, you have primary emergency contact information. Now this section, subsection, this can be moved up and down wherever you want to show. You can show whatever you want to name or rename. You can do that for all of these portlets. Now let's go to job information. Let me show you the person ID. What is the person ID here? 103273. And where is this coming from? This is coming from here, next person ID. Now, if I refresh this screen, it would update to 103274, the next number. (103274). So this ID is coming from company system and logo settings. Let me go to job information. Job information is a portlet which contains the event and event reason. Every record that you insert for the employees, it should contain the event and event reason, why you're changing that field, whether it is a transfer or a promotion or suspension or a termination. You should maintain the event and event reason. Job information and comp information, these are the two portlets which contains the event and event reason. Personal information or other portlets, you will not have any event and event reason. Only job and comp will have this event and event reasons. Now let me go to compensation. Now here, system picked up the manager, okay, as Laurent. Compensation, go to compensation section. You have current pay, which is the comp information. It shows the annualized salary as 3.6 lakhs. Comp ratio is 120. Range penetration is 110. But why it is 110? Because the maximum salary that can be maintained is 3,50,035 lakhs. But here it is 36 lakhs. So let me go, just maintain this one. Now you can also have a warning or error message if the range penetration is exceeding, but now we don't have any validation here. So system updated this. Just maintain 1,80,000. Okay. Now it is 32 lakhs 40,000. That is 74% and 108. Now if you go to the widget, it shows employees range penetration is still here, 32 lakhs, because midpoint is this one, which is 30 lakhs, and the employee salary is somewhere here, 32 lakh 40,000. So these are those pay components. So what is the data that we have maintained? This is the annual salary, this is the monthly salary. Okay, HRA is monthly salary, and these two pay components are added to our pay component group called annualized salary. That's why it is showing up as annual salary 32 lakhs 40,000. The monthly salary is multiplied with the annualization factor that is maintained on the frequency. You go to the question mark, it shows Wipro basic salary 1,80,000 into 12, which becomes 21,60,000, and 50% of that, which is 6601, 10,80,000, total of 32,40,000. Okay. Now, if I go and search for the position that I have used, manage. For positions, you can also go to manage positions. Manage position or manage data, both of them are same. If you go to manage data, search for position, that is also same. Manage position is also same. You go under manage position, you will find only position and position right to return. What is the position of this employee? The position is under employment, job information. Find out what is the position. First record should be higher, so it is taking some vague event reason. That's fine. Go to this position. Now you see, system has inserted a record here with effective 10/1/2022 because I have hired the candidate on 10/1/2022, and system has set the status to be hide to no, because this position is already occupied now, and this position will not show up in the hire screen for the next candidates that we hire, because the position is already assigned to some other person. So system has updated this record. And in the position org chart also, it shows up the same thing. Go to org chart, position org chart. You see the Wipro CEO, the plus symbol is gone now. Okay. Any doubts here? I have a hard stop at 8 p.m. So I'll reserve this 5 minutes for your doubts.
So how to assign a new event reason in legal entity?
New event reason in legal entity. I didn't get you. What do you mean by assigning legal entity to?
Like how to assign new event reason in legal entity? Like
No. Are you talking about the association between company and event reason?
yes.
Now here,
Legal
you
entity
see
only.
here, this is actually wrong. It should not be spot bonus. It should be higher event reason. Event reason. There should be some no event reason derivation which is added. So that's why it is taken as spot bonus. It should be. Now there is no link between your event reason and company. I did not assign associate event reason and company. Any event reason can be added to any company. Now you want to have different event reasons for different company, then you need to associate these objects. Okay. So what was your doubt? I didn't get you. Can you elaborate on the doubt if I have not answered your doubt?
Like while like add new employee, the first section is there, no? Like for the drop down, assign like a legal entity was part there, and can you go to once like add new employee?
Hmm.
So here like company and event reason. So if
These two are not associated. These are not associated. These are independent. You can choose any company from here and choose any event reason. So I can also choose Wipro for this company. So there is no association between company and event reason.
suppose if
Any
I choose the company best test, and in there like in the event reason Wipro hiring, this event reason will not come. So
no.
in case what's
If you have associated, then it shows up. If it is not associated, and now if you have not defined any field criteria, then it won't show up. Now, if your requirement is to have event reason based on company, first you have to relate these two objects. While creating the event reason, add the association there as the company, either one-to-one or one-to-many. Maintain the company for every event reason that you create. So, and go to job information, add the field criteria. For your event reason, the company as the field criteria. Now, when you select the company, system will only show those event reasons which are associated with that company.
Actually, yesterday I was creating a company called my Private Limited, and I have like created two event reason. So in that company, like the event reason was not coming in the drop down. So like association may be not there. That was my doubt actually.
If you have maintained association, yes, it will show.
Like for maintaining association, the procedure will be the same as you told, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Venu, I also have one doubt
Go ahead.
before you go. Yeah. So in the block, so in the personal information section, there are two blocks: personal information and global information. So if we want to make any changes to global information on this people profile, so can it
Yeah,
be from where to do, like from manage business configuration?
yeah. Both of them are interlinked. Your global information and personal information both are part of personal information. So every time you want to maintain the global information, you have to go to personal information and maintain your information here. And in the manage business configuration, you have your global information here, which is again global information. For each country, you have different global information. So for India, because this employee belongs to India, so you go here, global information India, you'll see the fields that are set here.
Okay. So it is country specific. So we have to go to
Yes,
the country in which we are working, and we have to make changes
yes,
in there. Okay.
yes. You go here and you see here country, you
Yeah.
select India, and then you'll find all the fields of India. So it comes from your
Okay.
global information, country specific. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other doubts? Try to hire some employees with the objects that you have created. And we'll see tomorrow if you have any doubts on the hiring. Otherwise, we'll go with a new topic. We'll try to hire one more employee in tomorrow's session.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Venu.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.